Hi everyone, Chandler here, and this video is actually a collaboration with Resolution Interviews, so it's going to be up on my main channel as well as the Resolution Interviews channel. So if you're watching this on my main channel, you can get to Resolution Interviews by clicking the annotation right there, or if you're watching this on Resolution Interviews, why not come over to my channel, which I will put the annotation right there. But if you're on mobile, you can get to the links down below. Alright. So, time to get into some questions. As a YouTuber, you make a mixture of funny and serious videos that capture your personality and life, then post them online for others to see and relate to. Was it nerve-wracking to post your first YouTube video? Who inspired you to post your first YouTube video? And what is it about? What was the reaction you got from viewers when you posted it? I consider my YouTube year to really start this year. So, although the girlfriend tag Transgender edition video was really the first video that I posted this year. My first real video, I think, is the What is a Gender video, just because that video really was nerve-wracking to post, and the reason why I decided to film that video is because I remember when I was confused, questioning, blah blah blah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look to the internet for some resources, and I knew that before I wanted to know other people specifically. I didn't just want to know like a definition. I wanted to know other people, which is why I went to YouTube and I searched agender. I was like, I know what it means. So I searched agender and I didn't find anything. I found one person and that was it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make a video explaining what agender is because this is how I feel, and I know there are other people out there that can relate to me. I made that video because I felt like something had to be said, and also I kind of filmed it in a way to say like since I was questioning and I didn't find any resources, I didn't want other people who were questioning to not find any resources because I knew how alone that made me feel. So when I posted that video and I saw the comments that were like, oh, I'm agender too, this is so nice to see this video, blah blah blah, I think I may be agender and all this other stuff. It made me feel really good, honestly, to feel that I wasn't alone. That leads me into the next question. The next question is for the viewers out there that don't even know what transgender agender means. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So, I actually have, like I said, my first video that I really felt was nerve-wracking was my What is a Gender video. So if you want like a really in-depth explanation, you can go check out that video, but I'm just going to tell you really simply what it is here. Agender means you don't have a gender. I just don't feel like I have one. So how did you learn to accept yourself and your gender identity? Was that difficult, or was it easy to accept and love yourself because you don't know how to be anything other than yourself? Well, it was actually kind of difficult for me to like really appreciate that about myself, because I always kind of had this feeling like I couldn't be myself because there were aspects of me that were feminine, there were aspects of me that were masculine, and I was like, but I don't feel like I am a female or a male. So it was kind of like, how do you get around that if you feel like you have these different characteristics, but it didn't seem like you actually felt welcome in this label. Like, it just didn't feel like it fit me right. It did take me a while to finally accept myself, and if you watch my What is a Gender video, there's actually a moment where I finally say I came to the conclusion that I am agender, and my voice almost cracks. I was actually really nervous to say it out loud because I don't think to that point I had said it out loud. It was kind of just a I know in myself type thing. What really helped me like accept myself about it was knowing that I wasn't alone, which actually people that have never experienced this sometimes think that people in the queer community are just identifying a certain way because they want to be different and unique, and yes, I have gotten that before, but honestly the whole reason I feel comfortable identifying as the way that I do is because I know that there are other people that are like me, other people out there that can relate to me, that I can relate to as well. So your girlfriend Peyton seems like a very positive influence on you and vice versa. Did you become friends immediately? When did you start dating? What does Peyton think of your YouTube channel and your theme of positivity or your more serious video topics? So Peyton and I met in our freshman year of high school. We are in the same Spanish immersion program. For those of you that may or may not know this, Peyton and I are in Spanish immersion at our school. It's like a school program. And I met her, and freshman year I thought she was really pretty. Ooh. But I remember I was really, really awkward, and I was really in a bad place in 9th grade. So I never felt like I was good enough to go talk to her or anything. We actually sat next to each other in math class via like assigned seating, but I still didn't feel like I could really talk to her. I mean, a few times I did talk to her to like tutor her in math stuff, but there was never really a long conversation getting to know each other. I actually went to a birthday party. We were both invited to it, and at this birthday party, I got her phone number, and I remember it was one of those moments for me where I was like, then for weeks we started becoming really, really best friends. We started talking for months. So we kept talking for a while, and then it was obvious that we started to like each other. And so I made a mixtape, and the first letter of every single song, they were all love songs, first letter of every single song spelled out, "Will you be mine?" And I put it in my book bag, and I didn't give it to her for like 15 days. I was like, it was like 2 weeks, it was over 2 weeks, and I couldn't build up the strength to give it to her. And then finally on May 16th, I gave it to her, and bless Peyton, she's really dense. She did not get it, but she genuinely didn't see it, so I was like, you see the question, will you read it, you know what it says, look at the song titles. And so she said, do you want me to say yes? Because of course I will. And we have been together ever since. Even just having Peyton as my friend really helped me finally learn how to open up to people and talk to people and trust people and better myself in the way that I want to be. And so now the fact that she is not only my best friend but also my girlfriend, she's like my support network, and she really does help me a lot. As for the part where it says what does she think about my videos, she's told me a lot of times that honestly she feels inspired by me, that she thinks I'm a great person, and that she likes what I do. Can you explain pronouns and why they are important to you and others in the transgender community? When did you officially switch your pronouns assigned at birth to they, them, their? Okay, so pronouns are very important in the transgender community because they are one of the simplest ways to express gender identity. When someone uses the right pronouns with you, it's almost like, hey, that feels right. And so I always say this all the time. People that don't really understand why pronouns are significant will test out some pronouns on yourself. Like, if you don't feel comfortable when people say, hey, she's really cool, or hey, he's pretty awesome, or hey, they're cool. Like if someone uses these pronouns on you and they don't feel right, then that's why I say that pronouns are so important, because they're supposed to feel right to you because they are referring to you. If you're talking about someone and you're using this pronoun, but they don't feel like you're talking about them when you use that pronoun, then you're not really talking about them. Like if I was talking about my mom and I said, oh yeah, he's a really cool person, those aren't my mom's pronouns. She wouldn't think I'm talking about her, so am I really talking about her? Nope. And so I started going by they, them pronouns and Chandler at the beginning of my junior year because I came out when I was 16. With the topic of growing older, we move on to our next question. What do you plan on doing with your channel over the next 5 years? Do you hope to still be active on YouTube? Do you plan making different types of videos like short films and or comedy sketches? Or are you content with the way your channel is now and will continue to post the videos that interest you as you think of them? So I kind of want to do like a little mixture of both of these things. I'd like to make videos that still center around, hey, we're learning together. This is what this is, hey, we're growing together. Like, obviously, I don't know everything in the world, so though I like to make informational videos, I do a lot of research beforehand, and I know that definitions change, things change, people change, identities change, so I continue learning myself so that I can help other people understand things. I do want to still continue with making videos like that help other people understand the ever-changing identities, the ever-progressing world that we live in. But also, I do want to make, like, short film things. No, I've always liked film and photography and things like that, so I do want to be like a film director, but in that sense, I would love to just make short films and post them on YouTube for you all. During one of our conversations, you said that you can mildly play the ukulele. Would you care to play for a few seconds? Oh gosh. Okay, I have my ukulele here. You see this? Okay. So you might not be able to see it because I gotta kind of hold it down a little. But I'm going to try and play something. I'm not very good. I'm really sorry. So I'm gonna take off my watch really quick. Okay, so I'm better with like notes than chords, but I do know a few chords. But hang on, let me get, let's see, what do I know? Okay. So that was the Ode to Joy. I don't know if you could see any of that, sorry. And then, yeah, furry leaves. I tried to do Riptide, which is like one of the most simple ukulele songs, but I still wasn't all that great at it. It goes, I'm like really bad at moving my fingers through the chords, so I'd be like, you also said that you have entered singing competitions. What was your favorite genre to sing? How well have you done in those competitions? When I said that, I meant talent shows. And in the talent shows that I've been in, they've never been like, we have a winner. They've been like, yeah, come on, share your talent with us. We want to hear that. So when I was at Gov School, I sang Beyonce's If I Were a Boy in Spanish. And the first time I tried to sing it, the karaoke, or the instrumental in the background was really off. And so I messed up and I felt horrible. And as the assistant was leaving, I went, can we start over? And so he came back and everyone was screaming, you can do it, you can do it. And so I was like, oh no, I failed horribly because this is really embarrassing and awkward and but I decided, you know what, screw it. We said we're gonna sing the song, we're gonna sing the song. And so I sang it and I was told that I really nailed the high notes and stuff, like in the chorus. I was told by a lot of people came up to me and they complimented me and they said that they were sorry that I was so nervous and embarrassed about messing up with the timing. And they said really, like, that was the problem, was that the timing, like the instrumental video that I had wasn't right. But they said that they absolutely loved my voice and I got standing ovation from over 200 people, so I think I did pretty well. Do you plan on meeting fans in the future? Have you met fans before? If so, what was the experience like? I do want to meet fans. I'm actually planning on going to Playlist Live in DC, and I'm trying to contact Playlist Live to see like if I can be one of the people that is there for other people to come see, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But I'm really excited about that. And yes, actually I have met fans before. I remember I was in Michael's and I was buying stuff because I had a sudden thing of inspiration and I was like, I want to make something for Peyton, and I actually made a necklace that is identical to this one that I also made. So yeah, I wanted to make a necklace for Peyton for her birthday. And this was in like late July, so this was like really early. But I remember I was in the line for Michael's, and there was this person standing in front of me, and they kept looking at me, and I was like, and then she turns around, she pulls out her phone, and she looks at it for a moment, and I was like, okay. And then she turns around, she walks over to me, and she goes, do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, ah, that is why she was looking at me. And then I was like, yeah, I do. Then I remember I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm just a little YouTuber and I've been recognized. But then the cashier called me up, so I had to go over to the cash register to like pay for the stuff. And then I remember we were walking out, and she actually parked her car. She was with her mom. They parked right near where I was parked, and so as I was walking out to my car, I saw them, and I put my stuff down in the car, and then I walked out, and we went and we exchanged Instagram. So we followed each other on Instagram, and I sent her a DM. We talked for a little bit, and then we hugged each other. And I remember after that I had to leave, and I was like, for all those people that think I'm 12, Courtney saw me drive off in a car. So yeah, I'm always like excited when people recognize me. I'm like, oh my god, you like me? I like you! Come take a picture with me and let me hug you. So yeah, if you ever see me, you are more than welcome to a picture and a hug, and you will make me very happy. Okay. You make some serious videos on your YouTube about being transgender, agender, along with some lighthearted videos like the chapstick challenge, and older videos on your channel such as Would You Rather and the 5-minute crafting challenge. Do you like to balance the ratio of gender identity videos to fun theme videos? Where do you come up with ideas for both types of videos? Why do you do a mixture of those videos instead of only one or the other? That's actually a really good question. By nature, I'm very dorky and silly, so I like making like silly laid-back videos like the Would You Rather, and I actually made up the 5-minute crafting challenge, and so that was a lot of fun. I felt like, hey, I did a thing, I made a thing. So I am very like all for making just silly fun videos for people to enjoy, but I do also see a need for serious videos to like talk about a topic that's not talked about enough. So if you watch TV, the transgender representation is like that. So I feel like it's very important to talk about it. It's important, as well as like different sexualities and stuff like that. So I felt like those were important videos to make. But at the same time, I still felt like, though I am transgender, it's not the only thing about me. And that's with every single transgender person. The fact that they are transgender is not the only detail about them. So I was like, I still want to make videos talking about my girlfriend. I still want to make funny videos, silly videos that express me in my entirety, not just me in transgender. Now we're going to get into some fan questions, so I will go ahead and start with those. I'm going to try and read off your username, but if I get it wrong, please don't be mad at me. If you watch my YouNows, you know I'm horrible at pronouncing stuff. Okay. So, Leah as a cat asked, how did you become the president of the Gay Straight Alliance at your school? This is actually kind of funny. I remember when I was a freshman, I knew it existed at my school, but nobody talked about it, nobody knew anything about it. But then I found out that the current president when I was in 9th grade was a senior. So when I was a sophomore, they graduated. And then I found out, like, in summer before 10th grade is when I found all this stuff out. Summer before 10th grade, I was looking at my school webpage, and I was looking at, like, the different clubs that we have, and I found it, and I was like, yes, it does exist. And then I was like, hold up, my 9th grade English teacher was the, I can't even remember what the name is called. Like the teacher that has to be there to sign on the group and stay with all the meetings, like she was that person. And so I talked to her, I was like, oh my god, can we like start this up this year? This is really important to me, and I know a lot of people that would be interested in it. So I was kind of president by default because I started it up for that year, and then I kept it running for junior year, and people just liked me as the president because I did the work and I always had like an idea prepared. So yeah, that is how I became the president, was by default. Oops. Doesn't sound very democratic, does it? At Lizzie E. Step ask, when you came out as agender, how did people at your school react? This is a wonderful question. I never really actually came out as agender. I was kind of just like, my name is Chandler, you should call me that for reasons. I remember when I was in math class, there were a lot of people that knew me before by my birth name. And so when I told the teacher, hey, I want to go by Chandler in this class if that's okay, she was like, yeah, sure. Some kids in the class that knew me beforehand from my immersion program were like, why are they suddenly going by Chandler now? And my friend Haley, who I'm actually very close with, she was actually the very first person that I came out to in high school as liking girls, as not straight. So I felt very welcome coming out to her as being agender. So she was already like, oh, you want to know why they started going by Chandler? Well, do you know they're agender? Do you know what transgender is? And they were like, yeah, we know what transgender is. And then Haley was like, yeah, well, they're transgender agender. And suddenly everyone was like, what does that mean? Oh my god, I don't know what that means. But then they were like, yeah, transgender, I've heard of that before. But of course they didn't know anything past what transgender meant, so they were very confused as to what this was. So yeah, and I think they still are. Senior year is going to be very interesting. Pedro G0508 asks, what is Chandler's favorite video that they made on YouTube? My favorite video that I've made is, you know, it's one of the videos that I've made with Peyton for sure, absolutely. I would say either the 5-minute crafting challenge, which actually, if you look at the upload date, we filmed that video, and then later that day is when I asked her to be my girlfriend for the first time. So, fun fact, you see how happy we are in that video later. She would turn me down. But it's funny. I laugh about it. It's okay. She thinks that I feel really bad about it. But, I think either that video, because it was a very original idea, in terms of, like, challenges, because original challenge ideas, you never really know where they come from. They just kind of sprout up and suddenly they're viral and everyone's doing these challenges. But I felt like, hey, this is my challenge that I made. And we had a lot of fun, and I actually still have, like right here, this is something we made that day. So yeah, I still have a lot of things from that and a lot of memories, and it was a very good time. We had a lot of fun. There were a lot of laughs. Ombre Girl asks, if you could be any Disney character, who would you choose and why did you choose that character? Disney is my thing. Okay, I love Disney a lot. Like a lot. I have like 5 different Disney themed t-shirts. If I had to be a Disney character, I would be Hercules. Hercules is my favorite classic movie, but I would be Hercules because it shows that an awkward, dorky person can still go really far in life despite some hardships, some things that kind of go against him. Like, he was very awkward and he was not self-aware, and so it led to some problems, but then he learned how to overcome that and really work hard to better himself, and that's always what I wanted to do, was despite being not all that great in the past in terms of self-love and acceptance, is to like work through that and better myself and be the best me I can be. That sounded really cheesy, but that's the truth. No Control Free asked, favorite and least favorite subject in school. Okay, least favorite subject is English. I took the AP English language exam and I got a 5 on it, and I was so glad because I'm so much of like a hard thinker at things that like I can't just like easily comprehend tests. So I'm glad it was a really hard test to comprehend, because then I was like, comprehension overload, thinking hard things, making hard decisions. But my favorite is history, because world history specifically, because I really value about learning about other cultures in a way that doesn't like appropriate them or disrespect them. I like actually learning about cultures, learning about the history of other cultures, the history of civilizations. Did you ever expect for 100,000 plus people to watch your videos? I made dumb videos with my friend Erica, and those videos got like, one of the videos that I have on private had like 23 views, okay? I did not think that even 100 people were going to watch my videos, much less 11 million people watch my videos, because if you see how many views I have, it blows my mind. I'm like, I remember earlier this year I was like, I'm so close to 100 subscribers, please reblog my Tumblr post and let people know I exist, and now it's like, oh my god, do people actually want to watch my videos? And that blows my mind. And honestly, when I made my Snapchat and everyone talked about it, like, I love your videos, blah blah blah, I'm still kind of like, for real? Heidi Landry, sorry if I butchered your name, asks, what's your favorite thing about making YouTube videos? The fact that people actually get something out of them, whether it's just like a smile for the day, or wow, I actually learned something, like, hey, I didn't know what gender roles were before I watched your video, or hey, I didn't even know that polysexuality existed before I watched your videos, or something like that. Like, I like knowing that people get something out of my videos, regardless of what it is. Pedro G0508 asks another question. If you had one wish to have or change anything you want, what would it be? I would change the ideas regarding gender in the way that gender roles completely gone. Like, no one would be, oh, she's a girl, she can't do that, or something like that. That would be gone instantaneously. And the assuming that comes with gender and sexuality, where people automatically think that it is normal to be cisgender heterosexual when it's just more common. And the last question is, here at Resolution Interviews, a positive self-image is very important to us because people are often bullied based on their appearance, gender identity, or activities that they enjoy. So what are some words of advice for keeping a good self-esteem or self-confidence level? So my most important words of advice that I can give anyone is, what's important is that you feel comfortable with yourself. You need to feel comfortable with who you are, how you present yourself, how you feel towards yourself. You need to feel comfortable with who you are. And if you don't feel comfortable with who you are, do not be afraid to experiment with different things. For some reason, people like to shame the idea of experimenting. Like in middle school, if a girl likes another girl, oh, she's just experimenting. So? She could find out that that's exactly what she likes. There's nothing wrong with experimenting. Find what feels comfortable to you, because if you know what feels comfortable to you, you will feel so much happier with yourself. And you will feel so much more confident knowing, this feels right to me, this feels good to me. And you don't have to worry about any of the other people. You don't have to worry about anything else. You just feel right. You need to make this home a good one to stay in. Alright. That's it for this video. I'm sorry if it was insanely long, but I will try to edit it down quite a bit. So, if you like what you see here, I hope you will subscribe to Resolution Interviews or subscribe to my main channel and like this video and maybe share it with your friends. So you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow Resolution Interviews on Twitter, and you can follow any of our other social media links that will all be in the description down below, and I will see you all later. Bye! That was weird.